In March 2014, Mr. Arun Kumar was confirmed by the U.S. Senate as Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Global Markets and Director General of the U.S. and Foreign Commercial Service. In this role, Mr. Kumar leads the trade and investment promotion efforts for the U.S. government. The Director General brings extensive global business experience to his role. Prior to his nomination by President Obama, he was a partner and member of the Board of Directors at KMPG. Mr. Kumar led the firm's West Coast management consulting practices, serving major global clients as well as emerging Silicon Valley ventures. He also founded and led KMPG's US-India practice. Previously, Mr. Kumar was a Silicon Valley entrepreneur where he founded 3 different technology ventures. Mr. Director General, thank you for joining us. We look forward to your comments.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, thank you, Eric, for that very kind introduction. It's great to be here in North Texas for this very important event. And I really enjoyed the comments of Mayor Rawlings, who captured what e-commerce is all about in a very nice way. For me, the topic of this conference is particularly close to my heart because, as I mentioned, I came to Washington from Silicon Valley, where in fact I've seen the growth of these companies, whether it's eBay or Google and various others that have been so PayPal that have been so successful in the world of e-commerce. And I personally am a big believer that most of commerce will be e-commerce. So working with our clients, our small and medium enterprises, to help them develop their strategies to benefit from e-commerce is really critical. So I'm delighted that you're here. I'm delighted that our team has put together an outstanding program. As you look at the program, today is all about, how do you sell, how do you collect, how do you ship, and tomorrow is about how do you do this in various parts of the world. So just a very thoughtful program. I'd say in addition to the program, the conversations that you'll be having just amongst yourselves is going to be so important. Just for me, the conversations I had before coming in here were illuminating. In fact, again, referring to Silicon Valley, one of the venture capitalists in Silicon Valley said, the most important value from conferences really comes not in the room, but in the lobby. So he started a conference that's simply called the lobby, and they have no meetings in any rooms, it's all in the lobby. So the value of those conversations are just as important as the various plenary sessions that you will attend. Now, the Discover Global Markets event series has been a resounding success for the thousands of participating US businesses that have been interested in expanding their reach overseas. The Commerce Department's International Trade Administration, a bureau in which I lead the Global Markets Unit, is dedicated to the mission of increasing US exports and foreign direct investment into the US. Across the country, we have 108 offices staffed by trade specialists dedicated to helping US small and medium-sized firms identify and take advantage of opportunities in priority markets. And overseas, we have a team of commercial officers and foreign service nationals based in embassies and consulates in more than 70 countries. And their expertise lies in identifying potential agents and distributors in helping US businesses navigate those markets. Now, many of you have taken the opportunity to set up one-on-one meetings with our commercial officers and trade specialists. Throughout the conference, you can expect relevant, topical market intelligence and an honest assessment of possibilities in the markets that you are interested in exploring. I also would like to extend a warm welcome to our many international business visitors who have come to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex from Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin America. We are really pleased that you could join us. Helping American businesses take advantage of new opportunities abroad is a top priority at the Department of Commerce. So should you decide to follow up with a visit to these markets abroad, we stand ready to provide additional services to help you meet potential buyers or partners, or advise on market entry strategies and assist with specific opportunity pursuits. Let me move on to talk about a big event that happened earlier this week, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. As you may have heard, we just concluded negotiations on the Trans-Pacific Partnership this past Monday. The TPP is important to the US economy. The export of goods and services by our SMEs continues to be a significant contributor to America's economic growth and job creation. In 2013, SMEs, firms with less than 500 employees, accounted for almost 98% of the companies exporting and were responsible for nearly 34% of goods exported by value. And one of the significant markets for these exports is the Asia-Pacific region. Thus, we're excited by the export opportunities that will be unlocked to the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement. Along with the United States, and we have Canada, Mexico, Peru, and Chile in the Americas. And the other TPP participants are Australia, Brunei, Japan, Malaysia, New Zealand, Singapore, and Vietnam. While TPP will benefit companies of all sizes, we are very focused on the SMEs. We have offices in all the TPP negotiating partner countries, and our commercial service officers and staff can help you in each of them. A comprehensive 21st century agreement that sets high standards for open trade and investment. The TPP wants to ensure that SME exporters can take advantage of these opportunities. So there is in fact special provisions that help SMEs succeed in these global markets. Our belief is that when the rules are fair, Americans can outcompete anyone in the world. The TPP agreement addresses not just traditional tariff and non-tariff issues, but also new and emerging issues that businesses face in the 21st century, like digital trade, supply chain connectivity, and ensuring fair competition with state-owned enterprises. The TPP will increase jobs and exports in the United States and for our trading partners, reduce barriers to trade and investment, deepen regional supply chains, and increase economic regional integration. Modern trade agreements like the TPP are an important way to ensure access to the world's fastest growing markets, because these agreements set the rules of the marketplace. The rules of the road are up for grabs in Asia, the world's fastest growing economic bloc. If we do not write these rules, other influential countries in the region will set weak rules of the road, threatening American jobs and workers and undermining US leadership in Asia. We have taken decisive action to set these rules by getting TPP negotiations concluded. This agreement helps ensure that the global economy reflects our interests and values by requiring other countries to play by fair wage, safe workplace, and strong environmental rules that we set. One of these key values is a free and open internet. This is particularly relevant to the topic of this conference. TPP includes cutting-edge rules promoting internet-based commerce, a central area of American leadership, and one of the world's great opportunities for growth. The agreement also includes strong rules that make sure the best innovation and not trade barriers and censorship laws shapes how digital markets grow. TPP helps preserve the single global digital marketplace. TPP does this by preserving free international movement of data, ensuring that individuals, small businesses, and families in all TPP countries can take advantage of online shopping, communicate efficiently at low cost, and access, move, and store data freely. TPP also bans forced localization, the discriminatory treatment that certain governments impose on US businesses, that they place their data, services, research facilities, and other necessities overseas in order to access those markets. TPP includes standards to protect digital freedom, including the free flow of information across borders, ensuring that internet users can store, access, and move their data freely, subject to public interest regulation, for example, to fight spamming and cybercrime. So during the past decade, the number of US companies exporting has doubled, from about 150,000 to just over 300,000. The Obama administration has supported this increase in business activity and small business successes, which results in job growth through programs such as the National Export Initiative and NEI Next. Some of this export growth is directly attributable to e-commerce, and the ease with which businesses, consumers, and government agencies all over the world can buy and sell goods and services online. Last year, e-commerce sales approached $1.5 trillion US dollars, a figure driven substantially by growth in emerging markets. Bear in mind that this growth was by no means limited to the consumer sector. According to Statista, US e-commerce transactions in manufacturing now account for almost half the value of all manufacturing shipments. Now, despite encouraging trend lines and demystification of the international trading process that e-commerce has generated, many more thousands of US companies could be selling cross-border, but are not. In the coming years, we at the Department of Commerce want to double the number of exporting companies and thus increase the gross domestic product generated by exports from the current 14% to 20%. This boost will create tens of thousands of additional jobs, which the economy will need. E-commerce will play a big role in meeting these goals by enabling anyone with a good product or service to sell to anyone, anywhere. Whether through your own website, modified to accept and fulfill international orders, or by selling via the array of global e-marketplaces, the conditions for growing your businesses with little or no initial investment had never been better, and the steps involved have never been easier. Another benefit of using e-commerce to introduce your products and brands to individual buyers is that it can easily lead to agreements with distributors to sell containers of your goods rather than sell your product or service one piece at a time. At the Commerce Department, we support small and medium-sized enterprises with every facet of exporting, including responding to increasingly frequent requests for assistance in creating and implementing effective e-commerce strategies. I'd like to draw your attention to two new publications from Commerce that our department has facilitated. These publications represent a unique capability of the US and Foreign Commercial Service, which is to analyze trends and specific market insights in a way that SMEs will find immediately useful and valuable. And beyond these books, we are committed to keeping you informed about what's going on in these and other markets on a regular basis. We are making investments in our people and our IT systems to make this possible. To leverage the efficiencies of e-commerce technologies, we have engaged the leading e-commerce platforms and logistics companies in ways that make the process more understandable and efficient. We ask those partners with us today, some of whom are sponsors and presenters, to redouble our collaborative efforts in order to deliver the benefits of e-commerce to even more traders and consumers. Educating businesses on best practices and opportunities, and other countries on the importance of lowering barriers is an enormous undertaking. We are fully engaged and we are making progress. That is just what this Discover Global Markets event is designed to do. The conference content over the next 2 days will resonate with any company relying on e-commerce and social media to drive business development, build brand awareness, or maintain contact with customers and partners worldwide. So the next 2 days we are here to help move you along in your journey to expand e-commerce to this exports to this exciting new channel of e-commerce. I want to conclude with a few thanks. Thank you to the Northern District Export Council led by Diane Levin for all your help and support and partnership. Thank you to our Southwest region led by Eric Nielsen, who's up here, and to the North Texas USIAC led by Dan Swart. Enormously good work in putting this conference together. Thank you, team, and our team just do a wonderful job, so I want to have a special thank you. And finally, thank you to all attending today, and I hope this is going to be another step on a very exciting journey forward. Thank you.